Welcome to the Be Progressive Show. I'm Brandon Neal, and as usual, we're talking about crazy Fox News and crazy right wingers. I just over the weekend, man. I don't know if people watch like are sadistic like me and watch Fox News sometimes just to see like how crazy the crazy is going to be, and so I really kind of watched a little bit more over the weekend, and they're just like they're just going like full crazy mode. And that was bad press. The whole impeachment thing, a lot of people don't, understand that, yeah, he was acquitted, but we knew that he was probably going to be acquitted because all of his, co-conspirators were his jury, So, of course, QAnon is the mainstream belief now for the Republican Party. So, of course, they're going to defend it because they have to. And a majority of those Republicans that voted to acquit Donald Trump knew damn good and well that Donald Trump was guilty of doing what he did, but they're scared of their base because their base is QAnon. Their base is these crazy MAGA Trumper dum-dums. So they have to do it. So they did. We knew that. I knew that was going to happen. I knew there was no way they were going to be able to acquit or convict him. But what that does, and especially that video that was played, and I do believe actually that was a Jordan Chariton video from Status Coup, and his on-the-ground reporter took that video. And I think that video was lifted into the media and then got used in the trial. And I don't think he even got credit for it, to be honest, which sucks. But that was just a side note on that. But that video was very, very damning to the Republican Party. That hurt. That did its damage right there. That's all that needed to be done. We had a world stage of people around the world watching this impeachment, and we let them see that this is how the Republican base really is. This is the Republican base, and it really, really hurt the Republican Party. And so Fox News has to send its opinion hosts out to just be, full over the top, completely baseless claims, just crazy crap. So I don't know what's going on with Fox News and how they're handling this whole like mass shift to Newsmax because, a lot of their viewers left because they didn't think that Fox News was right wing enough, and so we've kind of come to the wall, like the right wingers have finally come to that wall where Fox News really can't go any further right than they are, or they become Newsmax and they get sued, and Fox News is already being sued for doing what they've done. So they know they can't go any further right because they're already getting into illegal, things now, and so if they keep going, they're going to be sued out of existence, and they know that. So it's tough for Fox because they're trying to compete with Newsmax because Newsmax seems to not care about the lawsuits. And I mean, they do a little bit. They have to read their little disclaimer and stuff. But I mean, they allude to it all day long. If you watch their live stream, they allude all day long that, Biden is basically an illegitimate president and that he stole it and not that many people voted for him. And, it's like they continue that on. So they seem to not be a little bit more reckless, but Fox News isn't going to do that. So that puts them in a position to where now they're going to have to start losing hosts. And they lost Lou Dobbs. They canned him. Now, Pirro and Bartiromo were the other two that were named in the lawsuit. And I said that they will probably be next to go. Now, they haven't yet. So I'm not real sure what's going on behind the scenes. I haven't heard any more about that yet. But, so Fox News is just stuck right now. So they can't go further right. They can't get those people back. And they don't know what to do. So they're sending their opinion hosts just to be batshit crazy. Just go out and be as batshit crazy. Let's get Judge Janine. Let's get her 4 or 5 martinis deep before we send her out there. Let's get her yelling and doing her stupid crap that she does. And let's let Laura Ingraham go out there and get as smug and as dumb as possible and make baseless claims. We'll have Hannity do the same thing. We'll have Tucker Carlson do the same thing. They're just doing their best to like appeal to these scumbags that have moved even further right. They're like begging to get those people back, but they can't really do much more than what they're doing. So they went crazy this weekend. Go back and watch their clips. This weekend was like just unbelievable with dumb. But this clip I wanted to bring up. This is a roundabout intro for something that has literally nothing to do with what I was just talking about. But this video is something that I keep hearing brought up. I addressed this on Clapper. I don't know if you're on Clapper. I joined Clapper. I heard it was all like Trumpers and stuff over there, and it was kind of like TikTok. So as a joke, I kind of joined it and then just like automatically got a lot of views over there. I had one video hit 30,000 and I gained like 3,000 followers overnight. So I'm on that platform now. But I did a video about that on Clapper, and it's this whole like pipeline myth that that Joe Biden canceling the pipeline is going to cancel thousands and thousands of jobs. And it's a complete and utter farce. But they, as usual, don't expect anybody to actually go look at the data, actually see what's happening. Joe Biden just didn't come in and say, just cancel that pipeline. They research it. They know what's going on. They saw how many jobs are actually going to be lost. But let's listen to Laura Dum Dum tell us about how many millions upon billions of jobs are going to be lost just because it's Biden, right?
Americas. That's the focus of tonight's angle. Now, one of Joe Biden's main selling points during the 2020 campaign was that, unlike Trump, he had empathy for all Americans, especially those who were struggling.
Joe Biden is a fighter for the middle class.
Joe Biden has a plan to put Americans back to work. This is what Democrats care about, providing support for American families who are struggling.
Voters were telling me, I really think Joe Biden cares about me.
Of course, that was all a lie. He's only been in office for 3 weeks, but already under his anti-business policies, like the halting of the Keystone pipeline, many of our fellow Americans are being made to suffer. Now think about the people of Fouke, Arkansas, who, until Biden came along, were grateful to have good-paying jobs with the pipeline project. Their incomes not only meant that they could feed their families, but also build their futures. Well, Biden completely upended their lives with the stroke of a pen.
It's hard to make plans when you've got an administration that's trying to crush your future.
This was going to be your family home for you and your 3 boys.
Now I'm without a job.
Now you don't have a job.
Senseless.
My husband, Macaulay Knight, and I, we were both going to be able to have the opportunity to go work on the Keystone. To have that future just completely taken away just by one signature.
Our youngest daughter is a junior in high school, and she's supposed to be going to college too, and I don't know how I'm going to pay for it.
It's absolutely heartbreaking.
Isn't it, though? Isn't that heartbreaking? Like, if we just stopped it there, you'd think, my God, that Biden's a fucking asshole, isn't he? Well, let's just take a look and see. So, this right here I pulled, this was from the report that was done. It says the report that was done on the job, how many jobs would be lost due to the Keystone pipeline cancellation. It says in the report, the agency wrote that 10,400 estimated positions would be seasonal construction work lasting 4 to 8 month periods. Since the State Department defines job as one position that is filled for 1 year, that would equate to approximately 3,900 jobs over a 2-year period. In short, most of the estimated jobs were temporary. The State Department forecasted that no more than 50 jobs, some of which would be located in Canada, would be required to maintain the pipeline. 35 of them would be permanent, while 15 would be temporary contractors. So, what does that mean? Okay, so the Republicans have been saying, Laura, Sean, all of them, Tucker, 11,000 is the number they've been running with because of the estimated 10,400, so they've rounded it to 11, and it's on every newscast that Fox does and Newsmax and OAN. It's 11,000 jobs, 11,000 jobs, 11,000 jobs. No, it's not. So what actually happens here is these people that you heard talking, they work. Now, some of them may actually own small contracting companies themselves, but most of these workers are workers for contractors. These contractors have the pipeline as one of their clients, as one of their jobs, okay? So a majority of all of these jobs, all of these almost 11,000 jobs, were temporary jobs that were 4 to 8 month, contracts. So they may get a contractor to come and say, okay, you're going to do 4 or 5 months here of a job, and then this area, this section will be finished, and then they may have somebody else do it down the line, and that's kind of how it works, you know. So the thing is, these people that are being laid off aren't being laid off from their contractor. Their contractor is losing a pipeline job. So what does that mean? They just take those workers and they go to another job, because the contractor working for the pipeline doesn't just have the pipeline as a client. They have many others. They work and do a lot of jobs. You know, these companies don't just work for one company at a time. They move on. They have other jobs. So no, a majority of these people aren't going to lose their jobs. They're just going to be moved to other jobs. And then, as it says, when this is finished, you're looking at about 35 permanent jobs. That's it. 35 jobs. So, you know, you say, well, they have these people on Laura's video there talking about, you know, how they're all gathered around. Every single one of those people are Trump voters. Every single one. And it wouldn't matter if you told them, hey, just, you know, this is going to be a piece about Biden and canceling the pipeline, and some of them are pissed off about it or whatever. Anything to bash Democrats, of course, they're all going to come around. They're all going to lie, and hell, half of them probably don't even work for them, but they're going to say they do for the news camera because they hate Biden, you know. But yeah, it's right there in black and white. 35 permanent jobs is all it's going to be lost. You know, that's it. So you can do your feelings over facts all day long, but if you actually want to look into it, you'll see that this was a Republican smear that's easily debunked after just barely scratching the surface of what's actually going on here. But now if you just watch Laura tell you about it, you know, they're real good at making people look and, you know, like complete assholes. But the thing is, you know, I'm, like I said many, many times, I'm not a huge Biden fan. I don't really like him. He's a right-wing, you know, Democrat. But these, you know, the claims that they make against Biden are bullshit most of the time. You know, if you want to make claims against Biden, go ahead and do it. But the problem is you're attacking him on things that are just utter horseshit like that, when he's got plenty of things that are legitimate that you could be attacking him on. But, you know, a lot of those things you have in common there with Biden, though, don't you, Laura? So we may not want to say a few of those things. So anyway, I just wanted to point out that this whole jobs thing is with the pipeline is a farce, and a simple scratching of the surface will prove that we're not losing hardly anything on this. And it's yet again another Republican smear that fell flat on its face.